Saucey fan, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Got a little something different for you today. Never done anything like this before. I mean, we've done similar things, I guess, so that's not totally true. Top 10 dark. Keyword dark. Nostradamus predictions for 2022 that might come true. I don't know, man. If you're superstitious or if you're not into this sort of thing, totally understand. But this will always be something I'm very interested in. I just love, I don't know. I find it fascinating. Paranormal stuff, alien. I love all of it. So let's check it out, man. Hopefully you guys are into it. If not, I apologize. Don't worry. Music is never going anywhere. But I want to, I don't know. I feel like being spooked a little bit. So let's check it out. Let's see what they got to say. Let's hear what might
Despite
be in
how
store.
much we wanted it to be, 2022.
Let's hear what might be in store for us for the rest of 20 deuce, eh? Eh? Yes, yeah. How you doing? What?
Despite how much we wanted it to be, 2022 is not looking like it's going to be our year, and it's looking like Nostradamus would agree. From war to hunger, all the way to nuclear explosions and the apocalypse. Here are the
What? I'm sorry. Maybe this isn't a good idea.
top 10 dark Nostradamus predictions for 2022 that might come true. Starting off in our number 10 spot, we have war. Starting off in this list today, we have one
Well, that one came true.
Nostradamus prediction that is honestly half right at this point. In his book of quatrain poems, he wrote, quote, "Under the opposite Babylonian climate, great will be without the outpouring." I am certainly no prophet, so I had to turn to the internet for some help on what exactly this meant, and apparently this is the prediction that 2022 will be the year we see the first climate war. People have said that this prediction is likely to be between neighboring countries who will be fighting over dwindling resources. We are currently experiencing a war right now with the invasion of Ukraine by its neighbor Russia, but of course that is not over climate change or any kind of resources, which is why I say this prediction is half right. It's a terrifying prediction considering how we are barely through the first 2 months of the year, and we are already—
It's also kind of terrifying considering, yeah, they're neighboring countries, but it's not what they're fighting over. So, is that not the one that we're watching out for? We love you, Canada. That's all I have to say, man. We love you, Canada. We love you. I love you. So that's all that matters, okay? It's all love here, man. Maple leaves and all that.
already seeing this kind of conflict. We can just hope this isn't setting the stage for what's to come for the rest of the year. In our number 9 spot today, we have hunger. This Nostradamus prediction has to do with this little riddle. He wrote, quote, "Of blood and hunger greater calamity, 7 times oppressed to the marine beach. Monarch of hunger, place taken, captivity." This one is said to mean that he is predicting that this year we will see an increase in world hunger as a result of the rise in armed conflicts. Okay. This list is not the one any of us want to hear. It starts off bad and it just gets worse. We're only on number 9. This is the
Yeah, that's exactly what I was just thinking. Oh. Okay.
Roaring 20s, everyone. So yeah, this one's a little nerve-wracking, especially considering the world news right now. Firstly, that's a prediction that there's just gonna be more bad, more war, more weapons. That's certainly never great on its own, but this coupled with an increase in a problem we already see a lot of, definitely makes sense that these two things would be coupled together, but it's just a grim prediction for the future. In our number 8 spot today, we have Paris. Okay, I'm starting to see a theme with these predictions, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't like it. I'm glad that Nostradamus doesn't have a 100% batting rate, or else this year would be shaping up to be absolutely terrible. In his book of quatrains, he wrote, quote, "All around the great city will be soldiers lodged by fields and cities." People who are much smarter than me have said that this means that he is predicting that this year, Paris will be under siege. That would be terrible and completely unexpected. Maybe people are misinterpreting it though, and it means something different. Like perhaps there will be some sort of closures or something like that within the city. I don't know. I'm just trying to be glass half full, but it's hard. Again, this guy's been wrong plenty of times before, so let's just hope this is all a case of that. In our number 7 spot today, we have battle. Okay, this is a Nostradamus prediction that eerily has almost come true at this point. He wrote, "Bluehead shall whiteheads harm in such degree as France's good to both shall e'er amount." The first time I read that out,
Oops. Whoa, what the heck? What happened?
despite how much we wanted it to be, 2022 is not looking like it's going to be our year.
Sorry, guys. Oops.
Whiteheads harm in such degree as France's good to both shall e'er amount. The first time I read that out loud, I thought to myself, what in the world does that mean? Seriously. These predictions couldn't be any less clear, but thank goodness for the internet people who deciphered it for me. People believe that this prediction is meant to mean that war will be reaching Europe in the spring of this year. This is certainly a terrifying prediction based on what is currently going on in the world, and with all of the uncertainty that lies around it, it definitely is a dark one. Maybe
I mean, honestly, though... Okay, so he doesn't bat 100%, obviously, right? That'd be pretty terrifying if he did. But do you have to be Nostradamus to guess a lot of this stuff? Can you... What decade could he have said there will be war and hunger and... What else did he say so far? War, hunger, Paris. I mean, so he's just guessing locations. But what decade during the 19th or 18th century could he have said there will be war and he would have been wrong? Is there one? I don't think there is one. Like, there has been some form of war for, I don't even know, for a long time. We're humans, man. So for some reason, we just haven't learned that it's not super great to take each other out at a rapid pace. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, it's neat. I find it fascinating. But at the same time, you could guess a lot of this stuff and be pretty close to right if you leave it as vague as some of these are being left. Right?
Maybe it's all just a coincidence, but there are people out there who really believe in Nostradamus's prophetic powers, so maybe it's not. I mean, this is a prediction that I actually already talked about in another list, but with everything that's happened in the last few months, it seems as though now it has a completely different meaning and likelihood. In our number 6 spot today, we have inflation. This Nostradamus prediction is said to...
That's kind of weird. I mean, also pretty accurate for a long time, but it's really bad right now. Like, really bad.
Be about inflation. He wrote, quote, "No abbots, monks, no novices to learn. Honey shall cost far more than candle wax. So high the price of wheat that man is stirred, his fellow man to eat in his despair." Well, that doesn't sound good. We can all take our pick of reasons as to why this prediction is potentially likely to come true. It's really that ending line that has me feeling a little nervous, though. Is Nostradamus telling us to eat the rich, or is he just telling us how bad things might become? Many believe that this prediction is his way of explaining that inflation and increase in starvation may just lead to some sort of a rebellion. I mean, that isn't the most far off prediction I've ever heard of, and if things unfortunately do go that way, I could see something similar coming true, but maybe I'm just easily persuaded. In our number 5 spot today, we have Irobot. This is a prediction that comes from...
I mean, listen, man. As far as that goes, oh no, this one's gonna terrify me too. But as far as the inflation one goes, that is a very real thing. Like, people are only gonna take it for so long, you know? As a man, as a provider of my family, as a caretaker of 3 kids and a woman, sorry, but like, I'm not going to take no for an answer when it comes to feeding them and keeping them warm and safe. Like, you're going to have to take me out to prevent them from having what they need. And that's not a threat. That's not me trying to be a tough guy. That's just a fact. That's a fact of life. If I am still living and breathing, they will have what they need by any means necessary. By any means necessary. So the inflation thing is a very real thing. Very, very real. With gas doing what it's doing, like, people can't afford that, you know? It has literally almost doubled in some places. You can't... a majority of America can't just double their gas budget. Like, that's not an option, you know? They're going to lose somewhere else, whether it be food, right? Or somewhere else. People are only going to take it for so long. And as it's been said for a very long time, there's a lot more of us than there is of them. So, I don't know. I still don't find it hard to believe that I will see something like that in my lifetime as far as a rebellion goes. Just on the trajectory of the economy and the dollar and all that stuff.
Nostradamus and is actually about our ever-increasing technological world. Technology in our world evolves very rapidly, and it's tough to make predictions about what this year holds, but this prediction for Nostradamus reads, quote, "The moon in the full of night over the high mountain. The new sage with a lone brain sees it. By his disciples invited to be immortal. Eyes to the south, hands in bosoms, bodies in the fire." Many people believe that this prediction made by Nostradamus is said to be about, quote, immortal disciples and the potentially negative consequences which people are taking to mean artificial intelligence. AI is everywhere now, from smart speakers, text prediction, facial recognition, self-driving cars. It's not just that like weirdly, insanely human-looking robot with realistic facial expressions, although that also does exist. People for years have been predicting something negative coming in terms of all of this new AI technology, but perhaps the first to do it was Nostradamus himself. In our number 4 spot today.
Yeah, real quick on that topic. I know a lot of my subscribers are my age or older, and you probably aren't familiar with what I'm about to talk about. This whole thing that Facebook's doing, like it scares me to the very core of my being. For my kids, for just the future of the world. It really does. It really does. I don't know. Oh, well, I do know. It's not just me. I know this for a fact because it's a very common topic. It's a very widely talked about thing. Getting kids to want to go outside and play is already really hard. Okay? Now, give them the ability to just put on a pair of glasses and be at the movie theater with their friends while still sitting on the couch? Not great. Or give that really unmotivated, unhealthy, whatever type of person that doesn't want to do anything for themselves the ability to put on a pair of glasses and be a gorgeous, thin, in shape, wealthy guy in the artificial world. Like, that's what just happened. I don't know if you think what I'm talking about is like in the future or some movie that you've seen. This is it's happening. It happened. Like, it's here. What is it called again? The metaverse. The metaverse. Sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, because it pretty much is. Like, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I totally have not even opened up a single article about it since it first came out. But there was people buying land. Buying land and houses for like 10,000 real dollars. I mean, it's amazing. But you watch them. I saw this one clip of it. This guy put on his headset, sat down on his real couch, and then in his virtual house, walked into his bedroom, sat down on his bed, grabbed his PlayStation controller, and started playing video games. In the fake world. And he's in this beautiful house overlooking the river, and like, it's scary. And there's all these major mainstream artists that have avatars in there already. Like, they were in there when the thing was launched. So these people can buy tickets to go to their concerts and literally stand next to them. Like, feel, your brain, if you let yourself get submersed enough, you will literally feel like you're standing with this person. That is so scary. Like, that's scary. They've made movies about why that is just a bad idea. Yet, here we are. People at work, I know, Just go look it up. Go look up metaverse and just look at clips from it if you don't know what I'm talking about and you think I'm exaggerating. Go check it out. It is absolutely terrifying. Terrifying. I'm a country boy that loves the outdoors, that fully believes in living with the land and not on the land, living with nature, not on nature. Like, that's about to be really, really in danger. If we don't, I just don't know. I was going to say if we don't stop it, but how? It's one of the most, it's controlled by some of the most powerful people in the world. Like, it's kind of just going to do what it's going to do. I don't know that there is a stopping it anymore. It's just a matter of deciding whether you want to partake. But I saw, one of the big things, the big benefits of it is that you can put it on and go to work. You sit on your couch in your living room, your real couch in your real living room, put on your glasses, and boom, you're at your office desk in your office. People walking down the hallway like they would be at work, but you're just sitting on your couch. There's nobody at your house, but it's like you're in your office with all the other people that have their glasses on from their real houses, just walking. Like, you don't have to move to live life. That's not good, people. Man, that sent me on a rant. But that AI one is such a real thing, and it just came out. So the fact that he would predict that for this year, that's kind of weird. I'm not going to lie to you. That's kind of weird.
We have the Dictator. This Nostradamus prediction is an interesting one for sure. According to those who interpret his prophecies, he is said to have predicted that in 2022, we will see the death of a dictator. Of course, he didn't predict exactly who this would be. If he did, that would be pretty insane. If he was even able to predict who would be a dictator in 2022, I would be thoroughly impressed. But since he didn't, of course people want to speculate about who this could be. I always find it so interesting to hear these kinds of predictions because I always wish I could know what exactly led them to think that this might come true. It's not really like an outlandish prediction if it were to come true, but it would be very strange how it could have been accurately predicted so long ago. Maybe It won't be a dictator in the end though. Maybe it's just some sort of powerful leader or a leader of a large company perhaps. It's tough to say for sure, but I feel like if this one ends up coming true, we'll definitely know about it. In our number 3 spot today, we have the end.
Could number 4 and number 5 be related?
This one comes from the list of Nostradamus predictions that he had, and it predicts a pretty grim situation. Apparently he wrote, quote, "Few young people half dead to give start." While a vivid imagination might be able to come up with a few ideas of what this might be predicting, apparently people have said that this prediction is intended to be about the beginning of the zombie apocalypse. It's both good and terrifying to know that people have been thinking of the zombie apocalypse for centuries. It's not just part of our modern world. Apparently Nostradamus wrote that the apocalypse would start off with a Russian scientist and lead to total extinction. Okay, well, that's something nice to look forward to. I started off glass half full and I'm trying to keep it that way, but at this point, it's getting hard. Maybe all the doomsday preppers are right. At this point, only time will tell. In our number 2 spot today, we have Asteroids. This is one of those predictions that seemingly pops up every year and doesn't just come from long ago. It's basically the idea that an asteroid is going to impact Earth. It's a prediction that no one wants to come true, but for some reason, we always guess that it might. It's really weird. Humans are strange. Nostradamus' words were, quote, "Fire do I see that from the sky shall fall." I'm not exactly sure if he means like a small meteor shower kind of thing, or if he's talking dinosaur mass extinction, it's the apocalypse sort of a thing, but either way, it's a little unnerving. Last year in 2021 we had a quote near miss with Asteroid 2021 GW4, but it wasn't thought to be a huge deal either way because it is likely that it would have broken up in our atmosphere. Right now it is said that the next near miss prediction is for around 2029, and that's from scientists. So at this point, I feel like we're probably safe, but who's to say for sure? People have also suggested that perhaps instead of asteroids, that this prediction might be about missiles falling from the sky, which is honestly just as terrifying as the asteroid. So at this point, this prediction is looking all bad. In our number 1 spot today, we have gone nuclear. This Nostradamus prediction is one that could certainly become a reality at any point, which is something that is pretty terrifying. In this day and age, the threat of nuclear attack, while not not an imminent threat is always kind of there, hanging out in the back of people's minds. Like, it's not something most people think about every day, but it's just something that we know people possess the technology and the ability to do. You know? And like I've mentioned many times today, with the things that are currently going on, it seems as though it's more than just a hanging out at the back of our minds kind of thing. It's a scary reality. That's why this Nostradamus prediction is just a little eerie, as he claims a nuclear will explode in 2022, and if this wasn't bad enough, it has some very harsh implications. He is said to have predicted that this explosion will lead to changes in not only the climate, but also the Earth's position. I'm not exactly certain what he means by the Earth's position, but I do know that that sounds terrible and terrifying. Alright guys, that has been our list for today. Thank you so much for checking it out. I've been your host today, Olivia Kozlowski, and I'll see you next time.
Oh man, wow. So, I have a couple thoughts on the last one, the last two. As far as the nuclear one goes, one of my biggest fears. It's an irrational fear because I have no control over it. Neither do you, neither does your neighbor, neither does my neighbor. Why? Why do we have them? Somebody needs to do something to get rid of them. Like, there's absolutely zero reason anybody should have a thing, let's call it a thing for YouTube purposes. Nobody, I don't care who you are, should have a thing that with a press of a button, bye-bye world. Like, that should not exist. Why? What? That's not fighting. You know? That's like, okay, the world is over for everybody. The second that first button is pushed, that's it. Because you know they're going to retaliate. That's it. Like, that's it. It's over. That first button gets pushed and it's over. Why do we have them? They need to be disarmed, disassembled, and done away with. There should not one should exist on planet Earth. I'm sorry. They should not exist. Period. End of story. You cannot convince me otherwise. And then number two. What was number two? The asteroid. So that's something that I always thought we were super safe from. I've lived my entire life believing the technology we have, everything that exists with NASA, like that is the one thing. Every time I heard it brought up, I'm like, yeah, but that doesn't matter. Like, we would know so far ahead of time. And plus, every time it happens in the movies, they just launch somebody up there to blow it up. Bruce Willis doesn't come back and everything's fine. You know, that's just the way it goes. No, I was very naive and totally wrong. I came to learn, not last year, I think it was like the year before, or maybe 2 years ago. Regardless, this thing, okay, whether you believe in UFOs or what, I don't care. That is totally up to you, not me. But this thing, this massive thing, like the size of the state of Maine, came into the atmosphere, did like a U-turn, and went straight back out into space. Didn't go by us, didn't hook around the planet and then go. It came towards it, turned around, and went back. And we didn't know, they didn't realize that it had come that close until we got the pictures, and it was long gone. I was like, but, excuse me, Mrs. Harrison, but doesn't that mean if it didn't turn around, we never would have gotten the pictures because it would have gone kaplowy and we all would have gone kasleepy? Like, what? We didn't know it was anywhere near us until it was here and then long gone? That's not great, right? I mean, can we get a better camera? Do you guys need batteries? I'll go get, I'll go to Walmart. I'll get some batteries, maybe a battery pack. Whatever the reason is that we didn't know until long after it would have been too late. Can we fix that? I mean, seriously, though, all jokes aside, I was totally, like, what? I was shocked. I had no idea that we didn't have the capability yet to know ahead of time, like that one she just said. They predict the next near miss in 2029. That's great, but if things can still just show up and be here and gone before we ever know they were coming, that's not good at all. That makes me really not happy. Or, I don't know, man. That was a pretty crazy list. A lot of them, like I said, it's kind of like throwing a dart at a wall and you got a pretty good chance of hitting something. The other parts of it, there could definitely be some truth there. The AI stuff terrifies the life out of me. Nuclear stuff is there. I mean, it's just a fact. They need to be taken away. The asteroid stuff is a lot scarier than I thought it was. And I don't know, man. Let me know what you guys think of that list. Do you want to see more videos like that on the channel? I really enjoy that stuff, as you can tell by my rambling. I don't know. It's fun to think about. Don't let it scare you or anything. You know, what's going to happen is going to happen. You or I aren't going to change that. It should not change the way we live our life or love our family or set goals or be happy. Don't let it ever change any of that. But it's fun to talk about some of this stuff, right? Some of it. Some of it's pretty scary. But anyways, guys, let me know what you thought. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Stay safe out there in this crazy world, everybody. This is Saucey Dad. Peace out. Saucey fam.